Hey guys, welcome back. Now we're going to see arrays. Consider a situation where we need to store three integer numbers. If we use programming's simple variable and data type concepts, then we will need three variables of integer data type, and the program will be something like this. As you can see, we will have three variables that it's actually integer. Then we will have the assignments of three values, and after this we have three printf commands, three printf actions that we will print the three numbers. Actually, it is simple because we had to store just three integer numbers. Now let's assume we have to store 5,000 integer numbers. Are we going to use 5,000 variables? Actually not. So to handle such situations, almost all the programming languages provide a concept called array. Actually, an array is a data structure which can store a fixed size collection of elements of the same data type. An array is used to store a collection of data, but it is often more useful to think of an array as a collection of variables of the same type. So instead of declaring individual variables such as number 1, number 2, number 3, number 99, etc., you can just declare one array variable number of integer type and use, for example, number 1 and 0. As you can see here, we can have an array called numbers, and here we can have an index that indicates which variable we are using. So we have numbers 0, numbers 1, numbers 2, numbers 3, and we have the last element. If we have 100, if we want 100 variables, then the last element will be numbers 99. So actually, as you can see, 0, 1, 2, etc. are index associated with variable, and they are being used to represent individual elements available in the array. All the arrays consist of contiguous memory locations. The lowest address corresponds to the first element and the highest address to the last element. So to create an array variable, actually a programmer specifies the type of the elements and the number of the elements. The type of the elements, as we did in variables, and the number of the elements to be stored in that array. So given this, this is actually a simple syntax to create an array in C programming language. This is called a single dimensional array. The array size must be an integer constant greater than 0, of course, and type can be any valid data type. For example, in order to declare a 10-element array called number of type integer, we use exactly this statement. So here number is a variable array which is sufficient to hold up to 10 integer numbers. So you can initialize an array either one by one or using a single statement like this, where we declare that we will have an array called number. We will have 5 values. There will be all integers, and the values are 10, 20, 13, 14, and 15. Or we could actually assign a value immediately and say that the fourth element will have the value 50. So as you can see, the number of values between braces cannot be larger than the number of elements that we declare for the array between square brackets. So this statement assigns elements actually until the number 5th in the array with a value of 50. All arrays have 0 as the index of their first element, as you can see, and this is actually called the base index, and the last index of an array will be the total size of the array minus 1. So this is the base index, and the last index is always the total size minus 1. So I will write it array dot size minus 1. So actually as you can see, this statement will take the 10th element from the array and assign the value to var variable. So an element is accessed by indexing the array name. This is done by placing the index of the element within square brackets after the name of the array, like here. So the array is number, the index is 9, and the value of this element will be stored in the variable named var, and that stores actually integer values. So this is an example that uses all the above mentioned 3 concepts: creation, assignment, and accessing arrays. Creation, assignment, and accessing arrays. So when this code is compiled and executed, it produces the result where we will have, as we could see, let's take it step by step. We have a new array of 10 integers. This is a variable I that will have that is initialized with 0, and then we say that as I is less than 10, then each element of this array will have the value of I plus 100. So the initial value could be number 0 equals 100. Then it will be 1, the new value of variable I, and the element number 1 would be 1 plus 100. So we would have that number 0 equals 100, number 1 equals 101, number 2 equals 102, until the last would be number 9, as we could see, because it's the last I that is less than 10. So it will be number 9, that it will be 109. So these will be the stored values, but these values are actually printed there. So as you can see, we use a loop statement, a while loop statement. We reinitialize variable I to 0, and then we use again the same variable in order to use this printf command that we will print exactly number, the index, and then the value of this element. So with this command, actually we print the values of an array. So this is the last part of the fundamental elements of programming, of coding, of programming logic, of algorithmic logic. And with these basic elements, you will be ready to understand every language, every high-level programming language, because all the programming languages use the same structure, the same logic. You will be able actually to read and understand code in almost every programming language. So thank you very much, and looking forward to seeing you in the next lessons.